Hello again, everyone. Can you believe this is the end of our very first week? Day 7, December the 7th. And I've actually had a peek at what's in here already. I thought I needed to give myself a little bit of thinking time if I wanted to come up with something that was going to be kind of worthy. So I do know what's in here. And it's 2 little lanterns. Aren't they beautiful? So when I first opened the pack and had a look at them, my first thought was Oriental. Lanterns, Oriental. And my thoughts were black and gold and shiny things and stuff like that. So what I thought was, if I can have a sort of a rectangular backdrop and have these gilded. That's kind of it, basically, really. Just on a rectangular backdrop. These gilded, dark backdrop. So let's just see. I've chosen these gilding flakes. They're multicolour. They've got rust and burgundy and purple and gold and a tiny bit of green by the look of it, not much, bit of grey, but beautiful, by Honeydew Crafts. I don't know what the name of the colour is. I bought them at a craft fair. I think it was in the cheap box and the label had come off, so the stallholders didn't know what the colour was called, so we'll see. So I've got some white card, which I want to do some gilding on. I've got some black card that I want as my panel. So let's just start by doing this gilding. Now, one thing to beware of if you're using one of these Nuvo pens to do your gilding, I do this to start with to get the glue running and then pull it across. But this glue, if it's very wet, the gilding flakes won't stick to. If I were to put the gilding flakes on and burnish them with that glue wet, I would push the gilding flakes off. I need to wait until that glue has become tacky. So it needs just a few moments breathing time, if you know what I mean. So what I'm going to go on to next is my rectangular panel that I had in mind. And I picked out a couple of rectangular press cut dies from my box. And what I thought I would do is have the smaller one as the panel for the lanterns to go on, and have the back one as a backing, a frame. And I thought that would be nice if that was gilded as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut out one of these and I'm just going to gild the edges. So I'll just cut a piece off here. And that's the bit with my glue on already. So let's just cut out, this is the larger of the 2 rectangles, which is going to be the frame. Okie dokie, let's see. Just cut out this. All I'm going to do is gild around the edges of this. I've been messing about with my lights and things this morning. The camera, my phone, is supported by a goosenecked clamp thing, and the gooseneck is kind of, it seems to have lost a bit of its oomph and it gets a bit droopy. So I just hope that you can see what's going on. So now I'm going to use the same glue and go around the edges of this because I want to gild the edges of the frame. So round the edge. And I leave this to go tacky as well because, as I just mentioned, it won't be as successful with the gilding flakes if you try and put them on when the glue is still very wet. So you've just got to wait a little while for it to dry slightly and become tacky. Okay, let's put this away. Now what I'm going to do is to cut my smaller panel, which is going to be the backing for my lanterns, and I would also like to dry emboss this. So let's cut it out. First of all, there we go. Okie dokie. So there's my panel, and I looked through my embossing folders to see if I could find a design that looked kind of slightly oriental, if you know what I mean. And I came across this. It's an Altenew, and it's kind of like a hydrangea thing. And I thought, this is what I do to sort of visualise what it's going to look like. I don't know if it'll show up more like, can you see there? If I put the card inside and just sort of move it around, I can see what the design would be. And I quite like this bit here that's got some flat as well. But what I thought I'd like to do this time is not use the card on the embossed side, but on the debossed side. So I'm going to turn my piece of card the other way up, and of course the pattern will go the other way this time. It won't look like that, it'll be going that way because I'm going to have it from the other side. Okay, let's just emboss this. Oops. This is going to do the job. These 3D embossing folders, they all seem to take different sandwiches, don't they? So you just have to kind of play around. So that's the embossed side, but I want to use the debossed side. I just thought it would look kind of interesting. Okay, so these two are going to go on here, supported by something or other. And this looks like it might be ready to go. So let me find my bamboo tweezers and my scoochie. Looks like it could do with a bit of a wash, doesn't it, really? Okay, let's put some of these on. And as I've said before, that you don't get in too much of a mess. Famous last words. You don't you don't get in too much of a mess if you don't use too many flakes. If you put too many on, when you start to burnish them and push them around, if there's too many, they won't be able to find anything to stick to. And so they'll go flying all over the place. So the answer is just to, keep the amount that you use reasonably small. Says she, looks like she's got a bit much there. That's absolutely low. So we've got this one to do as well, mind you. I might do this one on my sheet because it's got glue around the edges. Just put this here. Right. I think that's dried enough. It just needs to kind of go off just a little bit, if you know what I mean. This is beautiful. The colours are just wonderful. Whoops. Love gilding flakes. Whoops. Absolutely love them. There we go. Okay. Let's see how this goes. Put the lid on that. I'm going to start with this one. Tamp down first of all. Just look at those colours. Whoa, they are beautiful. And the tiny bits, just find any glue that's on your page. But can you see, because I left it a while. The other day I was doing something and doing some gilding, and I was in a rush and I just went on and put the flakes on, and when I came to burnish like this, pulled half of them off. So, you know, kind of not to do that. Right, let's have a go with this. Let's tamp down first of all. I think this mat itself might be a bit sticky, so we might find some gilding flakes stuck to the mat. Let's see. Look at this. Oh my, isn't that beautiful? Look, isn't that beautiful? Goodness me. Just look. Fabulous. I actually only bought that broad tip Nuvo glue stick in the first place because it said it was okay for gilding. Look at that. Aren't they fabulous? Oh my word. Right, let's just have a little clear up. I've made more mess today than I usually make, I must confess. Right. I think I'll hoover the rest of this up and clean that later. Right. There we go. Keep those safe. Trifle sticky. Just put those up there. Give this a wipe. This silicone sheet is, you can't just slide things off it. It's nice to work on, and it doesn't reflect, which is the reason I bought it in the first place for videos. But things grab to it. I have to say, they really do. They don't want to leave it. They like it so much. Right, let's just. And to get the final bits off, what I do with it, I don't know whether you're supposed to or not. I use a little bit of my essential oil, paper towel, there we go, nice and clean. Seems to just, I don't know, entice the things off the surface. Right, there we go. It looked like a bit of a disaster area, didn't it, a moment ago? But it doesn't take a minute to just clean it all up. Okay, now then, where are we? There's my panel. Now I need to cut my 2 lanterns. I think I'll just leave it at 2 for today. Let's see. Got room for quite a few lanterns on there, haven't I? Be able to do some more of these. Okay, let's just cut a couple out. Right. There we go. I normally put my trees always in the same place, the ones I want to use mostly, and they were just a couple further up and I couldn't see them. Right, look at that. Isn't that beautiful? I can just shape that with my fingers, and then I can put some foam tape or foam sheet or whatever behind, just to allow it to keep its shape. Put those on there. Look at them. Aren't they beautiful? Now, I might put some of this black out of here. I saved some of, I've got some black foam sheet here that I used, and these are just the little fiddly bits that came out. So I can cut up some of this to use behind there. So it will be black and it won't show if it's, if I've got these things sort of pursed out a bit like that. Will that fit on? Let's just see. Put that on that one. Put this on this one. This will probably fit on this one. I need to cut a bit off that. Or shall I use a different piece? I'll just cut a piece off. There we go. Right. Let's take one side off. There we go. And pop that onto there. Isn't it lovely? Now, I did wonder about what to suspend these things with, and the only gold thread that I've got is this, and I don't think that colour really goes very well. Let's just have a look and see. I'm not fond of the shade of this. It's almost, I don't know, orangey gold. Let's have a look. Might go. I don't know. Let's have a look. No, I think that overshadows the lanterns, and I don't want that to happen. Will that fit on there? Yep. Let's take one side of this off. I've got some of that ribbon, you know, that you have in dresses or sweaters or whatever, and you buy them in the shop. They've got them on to stop them falling off the hanger. I've got some of that I could put through. That might work. So here we are, there's a bit. If I were to put that through there, in you go. Perhaps I have to make it a bit more pointy. Put that through there. That might be fine. Let's put the other end through this one and then see how we go. One end was a bit pointed anyway. Okay. The hole. I did wonder about embossing this and doing all sorts with it, but I just wanted to leave the emphasis actually onto the lanterns rather than on the background. Let's see. I think that should be okay. So if I take the back off, I can stick part of this to the foam sheet. There we go. I'll just cut it off here. I don't know how long I'm going to need it, but that's going to be plenty. Let's have a look. I think that'll be all right there. Put some sticky across the back. Let's do the other one. Take the back off this. Stick the end of the ribbon onto it. There we go. Do I want it there? I don't want it too. I just wonder if I want to put a bow there. I might have to alter this just slightly. That's okay. Right. Do I want bows on there? Perhaps just a knot, maybe. I don't know. Just try this. If I don't like it, I'll take it off again. Do I like that or don't I like that? Don't know. Let's just take that off a moment. Or would I like a little... Let's see what this is going to look like on there. Oh, look what I've done. Silly woman. I cut this one as the smaller one. You know the answer to that one. Did two the same size, didn't I? Is that the next one up? No. Is this the next one up? Yes. I did. Both of them. So I need to do... Oh, crikey. Right. I could do that, couldn't I? Get it the right way out. I think I'll do that. Now I've made that one, I'll just have to make the best of that, won't I? That's what I'll do. In the ordinary way, if I wasn't pushed for time making a video, I would just do another bit of embossing. But let me get a card front and see what we look like. Let's have a look at this. That's quite nice. I do want something on top of these. I'm not quite sure what. Maybe just a little tie. I'll try that again. They look a bit empty. Just that bit there. So let's see. I haven't got an inordinate amount of ribbon left of this one. Okay. Okay. If I want that to stick, I can either put a glue dot or something. Right, let's just tie this next one. Oh dear, I wonder how many people spotted me cutting out the wrong thing. There we go. There we go. Well, you've got to imagine this really should have been a frame that went all the way around, but I just chose the wrong thing. Never mind, never mind. Do I want it that side or do I want it like that? Maybe like that. Okay, let's just put some glue on the back of this, some adhesive. Which way did we fancy? I think that way. Okay, let's put some foam tape on this. And then I think, unless I can find a sentiment I like, this is going to be it for this one. Of course, I've made that the wrong size. But, might be a bit more trendy like this, mightn't it? There we are. Right. I don't think I've got any sort of oriental type sentiments. Can't think that I've got any. I've got quite a lot of odds and ends, but I can't just think of that. Okie dokie. think that's kind of cool. There we are. Full of Eastern promise. So, 1 week gone. My goodness, I wonder what tomorrow's going to bring. I hope you'll join me. And if you've got a calendar yourself, maybe you could put on Facebook or on Instagram or something, or on a comment to one of my Facebook posts, add a picture of the one that you've made. It's going to be fun. Perhaps we ought to make an Instagram page for putting in all the advent calendar cards. So, as ever, thank you so very much, and I'll see you tomorrow.